If you've been keeping up with my channel, then you know that Ultimate Spider-Man is one of my favorite comic series ever. And with that, I feel like in my other video where I addressed Ultimate Spider-Man, I left out some potential points that I'll be bringing up in this video, which is how I think Ultimate Spider-Man's art style was a big significant factor to it saving the Spider-Man franchise, and why I think Ultimate Spider-Man is a visual masterpiece. Before we actually start with this video, it'd just make my day if you guys were to like and subscribe. Like I said in my last video, 1,000 subs is my sub goal, so hopefully we can hit that by the summertime, and let's go. Ultimate Spider-Man is one of the most visually stunning comics ever made. From its vibrant colors to the detailed action sequences, this comic is a visual masterpiece. The attention to detail in every single little panel is remarkable, and it's easy to see why so many people are captivated by it. Whether you're a superhero fan or just looking for an exciting and visually stimulating comic book experience, Ultimate Spider-Man is very sure to deliver. The unique aesthetic of the series has been used to express the ideas of its characters in a lot of powerful ways, which I kind of touched on in my other video. And through its vibrant colors, expressive characters, and dynamic action sequences, Ultimate Spider-Man captures the emotions and motivations of all the characters. And we see this early on with an example of Uncle Ben dying with the rain to show us that Peter's just gone through a very tragic and sad thing in his life. Through its vibrant colors, expressive characters, and dynamic action sequences, Ultimate Spider-Man captures the emotions and motivations of its heroes, and regular people as well. It also provides an exciting visual experience that helps bring these characters to life. By incorporating these elements into their stories, Ultimate Spider-Man effectively conveys the theme and messages of its characters. The book is also able to effectively convey its themes and messages through the use of humor. While not all jokes in Ultimate Spider-Man are always hilarious, they provide a lot of moments of levity that allows characters to break free from tension created by narrative events. And this strategy is basically used when Spider-Man encounters a villain that he can't defeat at all. For example, the Green Goblin. And as humorous dialogue helps elevate some of the tension and frustration caused by the encounter, it can also make writing go down as well and not serve us a really good narrative sometimes. A good example of this is when Spider-Man faces off against the Kingpin and he uses humor as a weapon by making fun of his old age and many other things. The dialogue also doesn't shy away from addressing diverse concerns and identities. For example, Spider-Man reflects on the ways he's been treated differently depending on who's looking at him. This is made very apparent when Spider-Man is not on patrol and he hears people talking about him claiming that he's a mutant. And if you don't know, in Earth 1610, mutants are hated by everyone. His feelings about this change a lot. They can range from him being amused to frustrated to upset. However, he ultimately concludes that it's impossible to change people's perception, and he diminishes it. And he sees it as something that isn't worth fighting for because it would be too difficult to win against such overwhelming odds in another instance. More on that too, even just Spider-Man's iconic blue and red costume has been used for decades to convey the emotions and feelings of his character. The colors are used to emphasize his heroic nature as well as his vulnerability and internal struggles. Red is supposed to be the symbol of strength, courage, and passion, while blue is a symbol of intelligence, wisdom, and calmness. The use of color in Ultimate Spider-Man comics also helps to create an atmosphere that can be used to evoke different emotions in readers. It can be used to create tension during intense fight scenes or to show a character's feelings of joy or despair. By using color strategically, comic book artists are able to bring their stories alive and make them more compelling for us. Colors can also be used as a special effect, like how earlier on in Ultimate Spider-Man, they're used to entail a bigger message overall. Another thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the darker colors and darker tone of Ultimate Spider-Man that's, I'd say, rarely shown. Well, the darker colors used in the comics are often used to convey sad emotions and creates a gloomy atmosphere. This helps to add depth in the story and makes it more engaging for readers. The use of darker colors also serves as a reminder that not all stories are happy endings, which can be an important lesson for readers to know. And this actually happens. When Peter dies, we see the emotional impact that his death has on everybody else. And I know I went through that in my other video, but might as well bring it up for the people that didn't see that one. Also, Ultimate Spider-Man's buildings and other things like its cars are often used to show us how New York City actually looks, which I'd say is fairly accurate, which makes readers who have never been to a place like that before really understand its aesthetic and how the people there interact. That also leads into my point earlier about the atmosphere, and all these things together would make this immersion that would make a more compelling story and just aesthetic as a whole. We see this with other things like Arcane, other comics such as Superman number 181, and Batman number 638. Aesthetics like these sets the tone for certain scenes and certain storylines as a whole. Good aesthetics makes us happy, and they make us feel the emotions of the characters inside of a panel or just a movie in general. Our understanding of the character goes up through aesthetic as well, like how I mentioned earlier in Batman number 638 when Batman is able to unmask Jason and he reveals himself as the Red Hood. This moment gives us chills, and we actually get a certain moment like this in Ultimate Spider-Man when Peter's threatened by Norman Osborn. This leaves us shocked and as a whole just perplexed. While we might not be as shocked as Peter is, we might get more of an understanding to his side and both sides as a whole. Aesthetics are also used to evoke a certain character's perception from the public or how they're just viewed in general. A lot of this is made apparent in Ultimate Spider-Man when in the earlier days Peter gets bullied by Flash and many other people. And we can see how this impacts him, and he really just becomes a very big jerk because of it, making him want to develop as a character later on and stop being mean towards these people. And I also touched on this a lot more in my other video as well. Aesthetics also have the power to connect us to our emotions and bring out a sense of awe and appreciation for the beauty of the overall world. By reflecting on and appreciating our environment, we're able to find hope even in difficult times. Aesthetic experiences could be found all around us. Taking a moment to appreciate the beauty in nature and art has the power to bring us peace and happiness. And even when navigating through a lot of challenging times, from marvelous landscapes to art that resonates with us, these precious scenes and things like Ultimate Spider-Man could take us away from our daily routines and give us some much needed respite. Gentleness can be a powerful way to center ourselves, and it can induce an atmosphere of peace and serenity. And through this, Spider-Man's been able to connect with people on an emotional level. His aesthetic, appeal, and everything else has enabled him to transcend generations and become a popular icon in culture. When Peter dies at the end of Ultimate Spider-Man, we can see how it not only impacted everyone around him, but the world as a whole, and how his death will inspire many other people to rise up, such as Miles Morales and many more, which I'll touch up on in another video. And his death gave everybody hope, and he was a symbol of courage. His passing left us all feeling sad yet inspired, and his legacy will live on as an example of how one person can make a difference in the world. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video and liked it a lot, it'd make my day if you guys were to like and subscribe, as well as leave a comment detailing what was your favorite part of the video and more. And if aesthetic just isn't your thing overall and you'd rather me talk about the narrative importance of each of these characters, then you should go watch my other video on how Ultimate Spider-Man saved the Spider-Man franchise. Wait, before I go, sorry to unload on you all, but you should also look forward to next week's upload where I'll be talking about how Miles Morales saved the Ultimate Spider-Man franchise. Neat, right? Alright, thanks guys, on and out.